Obviously, this president responding to a war-weary country that has said time and time again, we don't want to be involved in Iraq. We don't want to be involved in Afghanistan. Let's face it, Dan, they've been a lot closer to my position on these matters than they have yours. We've had these debates long and hard. But at this point, I can even say we need to be involved. Will you do what a lot of Republicans didn't do this weekend and salute the president for being involved? I mean, I'm so sick and tired of the same people bitching and moaning about this president not doing things when the president does things instead of supporting him when we're at a critical moment in this nation's history. What do? They've got to go on the Sunday shows and bitch and moan about a president doing what we all know, what realist, what neocon-like. Understand, we have to confront ISIS. Will you salute the president for taking these steps?
I have. I mean, I've said several times over the last couple of days that we should applaud the president for taking the strike, taking the action that he's taken. We have to ask the question, Joe, while these steps are important, obviously trying to head off the genocide of the Yazidis atop of Mount Sinjar, or just below that, heading off the march up to Erbil and the Kurdish areas, and obviously protecting American personnel. All of those things, all those objectives are critical, and the president deserves credit for working to end them. But when you take a step back strategically, we should also ask the president, what is the game plan for that huge swath of territory south of the Kurdish area? What about all those people living in the part of Iraq that aren't Kurds and aren't Yazidis, or where there aren't American personnel? Would we be comfortable with just a containment strategy with ISIS just in that area? If ISIS were on the march up to northern Iraq, if ISIS were not about to slaughter the Yazidis, would we be content letting ISIS just sort of be contained in governing this ungovernable space on that side of the Iraq-Syrian border? And a strategic case for the long haul, we haven't heard from the president. Now, he began to lay the groundwork in talking about this is going to be a long haul, as we've discussed earlier, and the steps he's taken so far are important. But I think what the American public needs to hear, we are a war-weary public. Consistently look at every military action, just about every military action that the U.S. government has taken since World War II. The American public has always been against it. And this is no exception. The president's going to have to make the bigger strategic case about what the threat of ISIS means, not just in Iraq, but what these ISIS and its affiliates mean throughout the region.
Right. Chris Chansing, let me go to you. Obviously,